Hey YouTube, it's Hannah Loba. If you want more MotoAmerica content, check out the new and vastly improved MotoAmerica Live Plus app. It's the only place you can catch all the race action in one place all season long. Click the link in the description below.
So it's PJ Jacobsen on pole with Schultz and Ty Scott, your top three.
And then you can have Corey Alexander, Kayla Yakov with her best qualifying by far of the year. Jake Lewis is going to be 6. Mesa, Blake Davis, and David Anthony outside row 3. Then we have Teague Hobbs, Torrin Collins, and Tamburini. First time again for Tamburini to see another racetrack. Gerardo LaRoche, Nassani, Max Van, Aiden Sneed doing good on that other MV. Riston Gregg there. Just on the outside of row 6. Then we got Owen Williams, Bickney, the Saltese with Jack Roach. Good to see him in Supersport this weekend. Enriquez and Joel Ullman, local guy from up here in this area. And then Wyatt Ferguson's going to be starting there, Greg, on row 9, looking to make his way forward.
Supersport race number 1. When the lights go off, we're getting after it. Clutches are out, and it looked like a Vision Wheel M4X Star Suzuki. Ty Scott got a really good launch from the outside position, and he goes, whoa, way up in the grass almost, Ty Scott, but he's able to save it, and he continues to lead the way. But it looks like PJ Jacobsen, the number 15 on that Rahal Ducati motor with XPEL, going to be second, and his teammate Kayla Yakov has gone from 5th to 3rd place.
What a start. Corey Alexander just behind Matthew Schultz as Matthew gets a little bit shaky between that turn 3 and 4, but he's on the back now of those 2 Rahal bikes in 4th place as he looks to go up underneath Kayla early. She slams the door shut. So Kayla already, this is going to be so good for her. She's going to get to see the pace of these leaders at the front. And, I think as a young rider, that's so key. And you see Matthew here trying to work around. Mesa now is got by Corey Alexander. Jake Lewis looks like he was getting ready to go underneath Corey Alexander, and he made that pass. So Corey not having the best first lap so far on that 23. You can see the gap. These first 7 have already opened up on the rest of the field, Greg. I mean, they've opened up a huge gap. So not sure if something went on behind this group, but Ty Scott leading the way over PJ and Kayla with Matthew Schultz now taking a dive down the inside. He's going to make that pass on Kayla, see if she can turn it back up underneath him.
He suffers a little bit on drive. He takes a tear off too. That's just a little screen. But hey, betting is now available for MotoAmerica fans. Go to nxtbets.com/PlayMotoAmerica, play MA. For more information, visit MotoAmerica.com. All right, on our first lap here, Ty Scott continues to lead the way. Kayla Yakov's been shuffled back to 4th position. All the while, it's Stefano Mesa on the Tyler Cycles Kawasaki. So a mix of new and next generation bikes and older generation bikes. And on the back of this group is the 23 of Corey Alexander.
Corey looked like he got a good launch and was up there, and then all of a sudden, people just started going by him. So I'm not sure if there was a big mistake made from the 23, but got a pretty clear break of 7 out in the front right now. Teague Hobbs is going to be leading that next group over Torrin Collins. David Anthony will roll out your top 10. You could see those little bits of wet on our camera screens, Greg. So to your point earlier, it could be a little bit wetter in that turn 1 through 3, 4 area, and then over here might be a little bit drier.
And the other opportunity too is that it looks like Mesa goes up the inside of Kayla Yakov, but she's trying to go around the outside. The 19 is kind of hung out in no man's land, but she's got corner speed, so she's going to hold on to the position as they go down the hill. Kayla's got the position, but nope, it's going to go around the outside. So a little back and forth between the yellow and green machines.
I mean, she went so fast through turn 6 there. She started closing in on the back of Matthew Schultz. And now you're going to see Jake Lewis is right behind Kayla. Mesa right now is the guy that's making the moves and going forward. As you see, Kayla's holding on that tight line as Lewis tried to go around the outside of her. Wasn't really anywhere to go. You got to think right now, Greg, that PJ is talking to himself and probably thinking if he can get by Ty Scott and put himself between him and whoever's behind. But Ty Scott really good on the brakes as they come in here, and I'm really loving what I'm seeing from Mesa.
Down the hill they go, and this is off of the ridge, the signature feature of this racetrack. And look at the tight line. Wow, and a big surprise for PJ Jacobsen as his title rival in Matthew Schultz goes right up the inside, and now Schultz wants to try to dictate the pace if he can hunt down Ty Scott.
A second shot. This is what we saw at Brainerd on the left-hand side of your screen. Matthew is able to put that R6 anywhere he wants, and he slides it up the inside of PJ Jacobsen. And now look at PJ. He's looking to go back up underneath Matthew. Gets that door closed. PJ's got to be thinking to himself right now, again, Greg, that He doesn't want to see Matthew get clear of Ty Scott. Look at him make a straight line down this hill.
But they also don't want to clatter each other out of this championship and give a heap of points back to Ty Scott.
Jake Lewis has got through on Kayla. Kayla's now trying to make that pass back, and she's going to do it. Oh, I thought she was going to do it. She's over the paint, but she couldn't quite get that job done. Now Corey Alexander's trying to go by Kayla as well. See if he gets down the inside there. He does. Makes it difficult.
Ty's got a problem.
Got
foot in the air.
On. Yeah, foot in the air.
Something's going on.
I saw that on the entry just now, and I couldn't figure out what it was, but he's definitely got his foot in the air right now.
Oh, no. So for Ty Scott, who is looking at a really solid podium position, something on board with his motorcycle, and his foot goes in the air. If you haven't watched motorcycle road racing before, or you're a club racer, or even doing track days, that is how you handle it if you have an issue.
Yeah, but Greg, I don't think that's the case. I think it might be sprinkling, and maybe he's trying to get people to, I don't know. Like now, let's see if he looks back over his shoulder. Yeah, he definitely has a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As we look at a replay of Matthew Skultz heading down the hill, and that's a particular corner that's caught quite a few people out this weekend. That was a bit of a mistake there.
There's a bump there, Greg, and if you lose the front, it's going away from you, so you can kind of lose the front there.
Might close that gap and then mess all those plans up. And of course, the 37, Tytler cycles. Kawasaki, as here goes Lewis, hard on the brakes in one of the slowest corners on the racetrack. He's able to get it done. He's got enough racetrack, so he gets that one handled. But Jay Tytler cycles, Kawasaki ZX6R. Part of the balancing is they have to add ballast to that motorcycle.
And, he might just not be comfortable with these conditions at the moment, but now he's got Teague Hobbs breathing down his neck as well. And don't be surprised if you see a pass maybe even into 6. Teague's got a really nice run on him here. Teague's trying to slide it up underneath him. Couldn't quite make it. Mesa slams that door.
Good bike control.
Yeah, really good bike control.
Now he's going to go for it. No! Boy, you can see the front end moving. It was almost like possibly they touched, and then he switches it back and gets him down the hill, but Mesa right back at him. No care in the world. With a lap and a half to go, this is the battle for 5th place.
That's going to help Jake out a little bit now. Jake Lewis is going to have a little bit of a gap with 1.5 laps to go. Championship implications. We're going to have a new championship leader if this race ends the way it is right now. As you see, Matthew Skultz goes across, I think, with a 2-point lead, Greg, coming into this.
2 points.
So there's going to be a 3-point swing in this race. So you can see Mesa's not maybe done with Jake Lewis yet either.
So Mesa resurgent after Teague Hobbs, who in race number 1 at Brainerd last time we were racing Supersport, was able to put it on the podium for the Vision Wheel M4X Star Suzuki team. May have given a little jolt in the arm to the 37 of Mesa. Gave him the old hurry up as he's trying to close the gap and regain position on Jake Lewis on this final lap of Supersport race number 1, with Matthew Skultz 2 seconds ahead of PJ Jacobson, another 2 seconds ahead of Kayla Yakov. And then this is the battle, 9 seconds behind our race leader on this final lap.
There's a little look there at Ty Scott and Corey Alexander. I think both of these have had issues in this race. Not exactly sure what it was, but to see both Ty Scott and Corey Alexander kind of sliding backwards the way they did in this race, we'll have to figure out why that was. But man, what a run this guy is on at the moment. Matthew Skultz, this will be race number 3 in a row, I believe, Greg, that he's, he did the double there at Brainerd, made those look pretty easily. And today it's kind of been the same. PJ Jacobson doing what he can. Wasn't quite enough, but how about Kayla? This is going to be a great podium for Kayla Yakov.
And for Matthew Skultz, with the last couple of corners to navigate, this will be his 7th podium in a row, and in doing so, his 5th win of the season. As our leader has 1 more corner to go onto the front straightaway, and Matthew Skultz on the Strack Racing Yamaha R6 takes victory in Supersport race number 1 here at Ridge Motorsports Park. PJ Jacobson in 2nd, Kayla Yakov in 3rd, and here's your battle for 4th place, and it's going to be Jake Lewis continuing his 3rd in points run. Jake Lewis in 4th over Mesa, and Teague Hobbs, who had such a good march forward, not able to capitalize on it in the end. Matthew Skultz ends up with the big win over PJ Jacobson. And Jason, you mentioned there might be a little bit of a transition here in our championship leader and on down the list.
But you can just see, like we said, she struggled early on in the year, and things were not going easy for her, and she dug deep, and things really started turning around the last race, or even at Road America started projecting toward the front, and just looks like relief.